YouTube. I'm the Magnifical and I'm doing another tier list, and this one, as the title would suggest in the video, is every single anime that I could remember off the top of my head that I've ever seen, and I'm going to be rating them. So let me just put a little disclaimer. If something gets a lower rating than you like, just remember that this doesn't mean that it's a bad show. It's just kind of comparative to everything, because I can't have, you know, 10 to 20 in the S and A and B tier and stuff. I have to have a little bit nice of a bell curve and stuff. I'm gonna try to be doing this video as quick as possible because I have like 29 different animes over here and stuff. So I don't want to be taking forever to do it. So I'm gonna try to kind of like rush through this a bit. Just so if you do watch this video, please watch a bit just so I can get that watch time. I can get recommended to others. I'm spending a lot of time on this video, so okay, and let's just get into it. Okay. So right off the bat, it's going in alphabetical order, and the first video is Assassination Classroom. I'm going to put that in B tier. It's a nice little show. It's about 50 episodes, 2 seasons. The plot is basically this yellow monster guy has basically taken the planet hostage. He's going to destroy the world unless if this class that he's teaching is able to assassinate him within a year. It's really nice. The characters are well developed. You become attached to everyone, even the teacher, Koro Sensei. And, it's really nice, great animation. So I'm going to put it in B tier. I think that's, decent. Attack on Titan, I know this might get some slack. I'm gonna say it's a C tier. It's a strong C tier, but you know what? Like the protagonist is kind of annoying. He's very hard-headed, very like one mindset. Especially, and it's been a detriment to him in the past and stuff. It's kind of moving a bit slowly and stuff, but it's still a good anime. I still liked it. Black Clover, I'm gonna put B, as in Black Clover. It wasn't the best in the beginning, but it's definitely picking up. I love the Asta and Yuno relationship. They did a rivalry amazing. They could still be foils together and not have the whole Midoriya and Bakugo complex where one just hates each other. I definitely think they did this rivalry better and stuff, so I'm definitely gonna have them in the B tier just for that. Bleach. I'm gonna put in D tier. It was, you know what? No, fuck that. I'm gonna put it in F tier. It's like over 50% of it is filler. The filler was horribly placed. I remember one time there was like a filler arc in the middle of a fight and stuff. And while I was lucky enough to, have started the series after it was done and stuff, and I was binge watching it, I can only imagine how much it must have sucked to people that are waiting on a week-to-week basis and waiting then half a year to, finally get back to the fight. And that's one of the main reasons why it was canceled, is because it lost so much viewers and stuff because of that. Boruto, I'm gonna put in D tier. While it is getting better and it's shown some signs of potential, overall the first like half of the anime is kind of annoying. The protagonist once again is very unlikable. He's kind of a brat. He's hating on my boy Naruto, and it's overall like you don't really get too many good messages as you did, at least compared to like Naruto Shippuden. Death Note is great. It really has that, instead of action and stuff, like as you can see here that I prefer, it has a great, intellectual battles and stuff like that. It really keeps you on your toes who's going to win between L and Light. It was done great. It's only, I think, 37 episodes. I definitely recommend it. This is Dragon Ball GT, I believe. I'm gonna put that in the D tier. Well, I did watch all of it just because it had some of my favorite characters in it. It had my boy Goku. It was a Dragon Ball series. I enjoyed it. It had great fights and stuff, but the plot was just mediocre at best. Dragon Ball Super, I'm gonna put C tier. There wasn't much character development in it. It didn't really have too much plot. It was more of all just action based and stuff, so it kind of struggled there. Now the Dragon Ball Z, I'm gonna put in A tier. It was great, had great fights while also having a lot of character development. It built on the characters. It showed progression, like some of the better than these two did combined. Elfen Lied, I'm gonna put in C tier. It's a great show about this girl with vectors who's like really overpowered and can like kill things with her minds, basically. It's a bit like mature rating and stuff because there is nudity and stuff. It's only 13 episodes, so it's not it's kind of short and stuff, and I don't really like that in anime, but it has a nice story and it's okay. Fairy Tail, I'm gonna put in C tier. The animation is great. I like the characters and stuff, but the only problem is that like so often it's no, I'll put it in B tier though. it would be maybe A tier and stuff if it wasn't that Natsu won battles that he shouldn't have, solely due to the power of friendship. And I know that's one of his abilities. It's called like the Ember of Anger or something like that, or Flame of Anger, where basically the angrier he is, the more powerful he gets. But there were times when he should have taken a serious L, and he didn't. And also, there's almost no consequence in the show. Like almost no one ever dies. Nothing happens. Food Wars, I'm gonna have to put an A tier. It's great visually. It's basically about a chef who is this 15-year-old boy who goes to this elite cooking academy. And while I at first was hesitant to watch it because I was like, oh, it's a cooking show, it's gonna be boring, I definitely enjoyed it a lot more than I thought it would. It's really funny. These people make the food they make is so great that like when they eat it, their clothes will like blow off, and like they'll have like an orgasm of ecstasy and stuff. So it's definitely a good show. I definitely recommend it. The manga is about to finish in the next couple of weeks, so definitely check it out though. Fullmetal Alchemist. I also Brotherhood, not the original and stuff. This one is the one that follows the manga more. It's a nice 64 episodes. I'm gonna put it in B tier and stuff. I definitely enjoyed it. Great story. A little bit older, and there is a bit of consequence, and it flows really well. So I definitely recommend checking that one out. Goblin Slayer. I really enjoyed it. It's one of the better animes that came out recently. I'm gonna have to put it C tier. While it was really good and stuff, like it's really short. It's only 12 episodes. Plot wise, not much like happened really. It was just kind of adventures. You don't really build too much of a connection with it just because it's so short. It definitely has potential though in the future to go up. Hellsing Ultimate, I'm gonna have to put in D tier. While it was good, it was literally only like 10 episodes, like around like 40 to an hour long episodes, and it was it was good and stuff. I definitely prefer the Team 4-star version. Definitely go check that out. It was really good. Mob Psycho 100, I'll put in B tier. I'll put in C tier. It's basically the same premise of One Punch Man. It's made by the same creator, One. The whole thing about it is basically instead of someone who's super like physically strong, he's actually extremely powerful like psychic wise. He also similar to Saitama in One Punch Man, he just destroys the competition. Usually there is none and stuff, and he's an 8th grader though, so he has more emotion at least than him and stuff. And like it's all about how like it's funny and stuff. I definitely recommend it though. My Hero Academia, I'm gonna have to put in the A tier and stuff. It could be S tier, but unfortunately there is some flaws. Like I don't like Bakugo and Deku dynamic. While it is getting a little bit better, he's always just yelling, angry, and hates him and stuff. I wish there'd be a bit more plot progression there and stuff. And also they have a habit of placing cool things and then never revisiting them. Like Shinzo and stuff, they kind of maybe mentioned that he transferred and stuff, and now only after a couple years later, in the manga at least, he still hasn't been mentioned ever again and stuff after the tournament arc stuff. So they do that, as well as how there was supposedly a traitor in the in UA, and then they never went back to that. And then they also in future characters, I'm not gonna say who and stuff, just because I don't want to spoil season 4 and stuff. But season 4 characters, they just like don't really go back to them. Naruto Shippuden, I'm gonna have to put S tier. It's one of my favorite animes of all time. I think you guys all know about Naruto Shippuden. It's about this ninja and stuff who he's basically an outcast, and takes place when he's I believe 15, a 2.5 time skip after Naruto, and it's great. The animation is good. The story is amazing. The characters, they're really enjoyable. They really did what Bleach couldn't do, which was have an extended cast like all of the Konoha 12 and still give them all personalities and make them memorable. Bleach, like I couldn't tell you anyone out of the main like 4 people and stuff, and there's like a couple that I guess I could remember, but they didn't do the extended cast well. And the thing about their fillers and stuff, while they did also have a lot of filler, it built usually on the other characters. Like it wasn't throwaway content and stuff. Some of it was though. Okay, some of it was garbage and stuff, but a lot of it like helped build on other characters and stuff, and I think they did that really well. Naruto the OG and stuff, while the animation wasn't as good as Naruto Shippuden and stuff, just because it was the original, it was made older. It has a bit more taijutsu and stuff than ninjutsu. The problem with Shippuden is that by the end of it and stuff, it was basically my jutsu is bigger than your jutsu, I win. Whereas in Naruto, it took a lot more, brain power. It was more strategy based, a lot more fighting opposed to just blowing people up with major jutsus. Um, for filler wise, it wasn't bad and stuff. The only reason it has kind of a high filler count and stuff, if you look at like my anime filler list and stuff, is that like the last like 80 episodes or so are all filler and stuff. So but overall, it still is something that's really close to my heart, and I really love the show. No Game, No Life, I'm gonna have to put in B tier. It's a great show. Basically, these two guys, or one guy and his little sister, they go into this world that everything is decided by games, and they're these elite gamers that never lose. They're called Blank. It's really funny. I definitely recommend it. It's only I think 12 episodes. I'm really hoping that season two comes soon because I loved it. It was great. It was really funny. Definitely check it out. One Piece, I'm gonna put in B tier. It if it didn't extend the episodes to make them last longer and stuff so that you were stuck on arcs forever, it would definitely be A tier. I love the cast. I love it. Roanoa Zoro is my favorite character. He's this extreme badass that just helps make Luffy look even better. He was definitely a great character, as well as all the characters, to be honest, that are part of Luffy's crew. And it's basically this main character wants to become the pirate king, and they live in this world where these things called devil fruit exist where they give you superpowers. The only problem is that it's an extremely long, it's one of the longest ones out there. It's like in the 800s right now, close to I think 900 episodes. And the problem that I noticed with it is that they would extend arcs and stuff like by making the episodes longer than they should have. Like for example, there was one fight in the anime that lasted 8 episodes, but in the manga it was about like 2 chapters, and that should have then basically been 1 episode because the episode to manga or the anime to manga ratio should usually be 2 to 3 chapters equals 1 episode. So they made things a lot longer than they should have been. Um, and for example, the Dressrosa arc was about like I want to say 120 episodes. So you can see that's over 2 years worth of content. But overall, I still enjoy everything about it. It's really good. I definitely check it out. It's one of the best animes out there. One Punch Man, I'm gonna put in B tier. I enjoyed it more than Mob Psycho. It's really funny. Season 2 is almost done. People are complaining about that. I enjoy it because it does follow the manga and stuff. But unfortunately, in the future, there's going to be a lot more emphasis on other characters opposed to Saitama and stuff, and they're going to try to build those up. So, but I definitely recommend it. It's basically like kind of like a spoof anime where it gets rid of the tropes that the most common like shonen animes have. But the problem with that is that while it does have a badass main character that is able to defeat all of his enemies in One Punch Man, it doesn't have any struggle. Like you don't get to see him work his way up this zero to hero kind of mindset that is more relatable and like builds you up. He just kind of starts off at the highest level. So I'm definitely gonna have to put that higher or in the B tier and stuff. Maybe not A tier just because you can't relate too much, but it's definitely good. The animation is great. So I was just looking at the list. I just realized I forgot one anime to put in that I have seen, and it's Overlord. So I'll just kind of talk about it at the end. But anyway, going back to where I was at, Parasyte, I'm gonna have to put in C tier. It's a nice little story about this guy who gets infected with this parasite, but before he can get completely infected, he stops it and it gets stuck in his hand, and he has to deal with the other parasites of the world and stuff, which are usually not as friendly as his own. And it's really good and stuff. It's not the best. It's short. I think it's only 25 episodes, but definitely go check it out. The time I got reincarnated as a slime, I'm gonna have to put in C tier. It's a cute, wholesome anime. I definitely recommend checking it out. Nice animation. It's funny. It's about this guy who gets killed and he gets reincarnated as this overpowered slime in this like fantasy world. Definitely go check it out. It's great. Seven Deadly Sins, I'm gonna put A tier. I love the characters. It's not S tier and stuff, but it's definitely good. The story is funny. While also having badass action scenes and great characters. All of the Seven Deadly Sins, they're all like unique and stuff. They all have their own personality, but they also help each other and like they complement each other in the best ways possible. So I definitely recommend checking it out. The Rising of the Shield Hero. This is a newer one. I'm gonna put this in B tier. It's a great show. It's, I want to say, about only 20 episodes in, but as of reading the manga, I can see that it's going to get so much better. While it does tackle like some really, hardcore stuff in the first couple episodes, like child slavery, false accusations of rape and stuff, it definitely becomes more lighthearted. You follow our protagonist now, Fumi, and you basically see him get transported into a world where he gets stuck with, the shield, opposed to sword, bow, and lance, which are all like attacking items. He gets stuck with a defensive item, and he gets falsely accused of rape in like the first day. So he has to basically protect this country that hates him for something he didn't do, and that he was set up for. And he makes friends along the way, and it's a really great anime. Shiki, I'm gonna put in C tier. This is a little less common one. It's basically this town starts to get overrun by vampires, and you get to see the internal struggle of the people because they have to, take the vampires out, but they also look like loved ones because they lost them, and then they think that the people are dead, but then they end up finding out they're actually not dead. They're actually vampires, and you have to just see what some of the main characters have to go through and stuff, and like the ties they must cut in order to progress in the story and survive. And it's just like a battle of the living versus the dead, and it's a great show and stuff. It's only, I think, 25 episodes. Definitely go check that one out. Sword Art Online, it started off strong, but the problem is that Kirito, the protagonist, is overcome by plot armor at so many different points of the show, to the point where it's just annoying. Like, the thing about an isekai anime, a gaming one, is that the thing about games is that they have levels. If you're not a high enough level, you shouldn't be able to beat things. If you're a really high level, you should be able to just destroy things. It shouldn't be, oh, my will is stronger than your will, therefore I win. And while in games, a lower level can beat a higher level if they're smarter. While they are able to beat someone if they are smarter and stuff, the problem about that is that if they're too much like of a higher level than you, even that can't bridge the gap and stuff. And the problem with Kirito is that he's this overpowered character and stuff that is defying game physics and stuff, where he's able to defeat things that he shouldn't have been able to defeat. So I'm going to put it in D tier. Also, he gets everyone that he meets basically falls in love with him, at least girl wise, and it's just okay. And then this last season, season 3, it basically got rid of all the good characters in season 2 and stuff, and like Asuna, and basically pushed them to the side and decided, hey, we're gonna revamp the entire cast in this new season. And while it is a good show, it's decent at least for the first 2 seasons stuff, because it's fast paced. It's like doing a 12 episode arcs, 2 arcs per season. Season 3 they decided to not do that, so I wasn't a fan of that. Tokyo Ghoul, it's a classic, but I watched all of it and stuff, and what I found myself doing was, especially when I had to wait a week to do it, I would kind of lose interest by the 10th episode, so I wouldn't even see the last 2 episodes unless the next season came out, and then I'd quickly watch them. I enjoyed it and stuff in the beginning, and I would binge it, but season 2 was garbage. Season 3 was okay. Season 1 was the only like good season there, so I'm gonna have to leave it an F tier. Now, I did mention earlier that I forgot to put Overlord here, so just bear with me. I'm gonna say that Overlord is B tier. It's a really good isekai anime, and it does things right that what's it called, Sword Art Online doesn't do. For example, it shows that he's already like max level. He has these NPCs that work with him that are already created by people that are max level. They're extremely powerful, so when he destroys things in his path, it makes sense. That's how games work. If you're max level, when you see something that's much lower than you, you'll be able to make them your bitch, essentially. So they do that well. It's funny cast. It's basically this guy, he gets trapped in this VR MMO, and he wants to basically rule everything and make his guild like in charge of like the top guild of all time and blah blah, in hopes of maybe getting his name known throughout the place in case if he can find any other people that are stuck in a similar situation. So that's every anime that I've ever seen tier list. I hope you enjoyed it. I tried to keep it a bit unedited as much as possible and stuff, so I understand that there's a lot of ums and kind of little ticks in my voice and stuff. That's just because I'm trying to think of what I'm saying before I say it, and with videos this long, it's going to be hard to edit, but I do hope that you enjoyed this. Please watch the video. If you did like it, leave a like. subscribe, tell your friends about it, maybe share it with them. That would be very helpful. Um, Once again, please watch it all so I can get that watch time. I hope you liked it though. If you do disagree with anything, just remember this doesn't. Some of them that are ranked lower doesn't mean they're a bad show. It's just comparative to what I'm like having here. So do check this out. I definitely recommend you check out, especially some of the higher ones and stuff. These are all really good animes. Anyway, well that's all I have for today. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you and bye.